Up in the hills was a small town. It was mostly separate from the rest of the world, but the people didn't mind. Tourists would come and go from the town, always leaving before the air became cold. The town's only connection with the outside world was by railway. It was a small railway, only having two coaches, two boxcars, and one engine. The engine was officially called the 280 Baldwin, but the people of the town called him Timothy. He would go up and down the line, showing sights, delivering goods, and working hard. The people loved him, and he loved the people. Whenever he wasn't working, he was in his siding. Sometimes people would come along and thank his driver, taking pictures of him. Timothy, however, was prone to breakdowns. Sometimes on his route, he'd suddenly stop. "Don't worry, Timothy," said the foreman, who usually rode with Timothy. "You'll be moving in no time." "We agree," said the passengers. "We're on vacation. Maybe you could use one as well." One morning, Timothy couldn't leave his siding. His fire was roaring, the water boiling, with steam coming from his funnel. His wheels refused to move, no matter what the driver did. "You have to work, Timothy," the foreman said. "Otherwise the passengers will be angry." "I want to move, sir," Timothy said. "I just can't." "Well then," the foreman replied, "we'll have to get a replacement." "Maybe a vacation is what I need," Timothy said as he fell asleep. The next day, a loud humming and clicking sound woke Timothy. "What in the name of all that is good is that?" Timothy exclaimed dreadfully. "That's trouble," the foreman replied. A large red and gray engine came along the line. He didn't have a funnel, pistons, or a tender. He stopped beside Timothy as the station master arrived. "Hello there," he said. "What's your name?" "Hello to you too," said the engine. "My name is Elmer. I'm here to help you while that steam engine is out of commission." "Am I being replaced, sir?" Timothy asked. "No," the station master replied. "He'll leave as soon as you're fixed." "I hope so," Timothy said, as workmen came to start the repairs. Elmer went along the line without any problems. He was always on time and could carry more cars than Timothy ever did. He only had to stop when something was on the line, but continued as soon as the line was cleared. Sometimes he would carry boxcars and coaches at the same time. Passengers loved him, and so did the station master. "I am the pride of the line," Elmer would say. A few weeks later, almost all of Timothy was fixed. His cogs were cleaned, side rods changed, and wheels washed. He felt like a whole new engine. "I can't wait to be on my way again," Timothy said as he saw Elmer pull into the line next to him. "Hello there, Timothy," Elmer said. He always said hello. "Hello to you too," Timothy said. "I'm in working order again, so I'd like to take my coaches, please." "I would like you to take them as well," Elmer replied, "but I need to finish my jobs for the day first." "I'll do your jobs for the day," Timothy replied. "I'm sorry, but you'll have to ask the station master before we do," Elmer said as he pulled away. "You wouldn't want to anger him, would we?" The station master, however, didn't care. The passengers didn't mind Elmer. They thought he was revolutionary. And they didn't complain about Timothy being in the siding. Timothy stayed in the siding for years, not moving an inch. He spent most of his life in the siding. "All I want is to ride again," he would sometimes cry. the age of his voice showing. The days droned on forever, and as they droned his firebox remained cold. Elmer, however, worked every day. He'd pull coaches and boxcars from dawn till dusk, only getting a break at night. "I need a day off," Elmer would pant as he came into the station. His wheels, however, never stopped moving. It was dark and stormy, with wind blowing along the line. Elmer, however, was taking his boxcars back to the town. He was running late, so he was going faster than usual. He sped forward as the wind blew a large tree in front of him. His wheels bounced over the line, causing the rest of him to come crashing off. It wasn't until the next day that the wreckage was found. Timothy was old and forgotten. His water tank was empty, and his coal bunker was slowly being taken from him. He was shocked when the foreman came over. "Hello, sir," Timothy said to the foreman. "Are they taking me for scrap, sir?" "Scrap?" the foreman replied. "Why would we scrap you?" "Because I'm useless, sir," Timothy replied. "The station master wants to get rid of me." "Timothy, you don't give yourself enough credit," the foreman laughed. "Elmer has come off the line. The station master wants you to go over and bring him back." "You mean I get to ride the rails again, sir?" Timothy excitedly said. "Yes, Timothy, all the way to the tunnel." "And back, sir?" "And back," the foreman replied. "And daily, while Elmer is in the works." "Thank you, sir," Timothy said. "I won't let you down, sir." Timothy pulled away the boxcars. He then moved over to Elmer. Timothy pulled and pulled as Elmer started to move back onto the rails. The station master then arrived at the wreck. "Good job, Timothy," he said. "I'm glad to see that if the time arises where you have to work, you still can." "Thank you, sir," Timothy said. "I'm glad you remembered me. I'm happy that I'll be working again." "Only until we can get Elmer working again," the station master replied. "Then you'll be back in your siding." "I'm sorry, sir, but I don't think I can be worked the way you've been making me," Elmer said. "What do you mean?" the station master asked. "We need time to rest and be maintained," Elmer replied. "And sitting in a siding for years isn't good for my gears," Timothy added. The station master looked at the two engines, puzzled. "What do you propose?" he asked. "I only want to carry boxcars," Elmer said. "No more coaches." "Then who shall pull the coaches?" the station master asked. "If nobody pulls the coaches, nobody will come." "I'll pull the coaches," Timothy excitedly said. "I missed my coaches so much. Please, sir, please let me pull them." The station master stood, still wondering what to do. He turned to the foreman. "What do you think about this?" "Me, sir," the foreman replied, not expecting to be spoken to. I think this is a good idea, sir. The engines would be happy. The passengers enjoy vintage steam engines." "I guess that settles it," the station master said. "Elmer, you will be our freight engine. Timothy, our passenger engine." The two engines were so ecstatic